Well, good morning, everybody. This is Randy McKee with Soccer 605, and we're starting our very first trip of signing day 2014 right here at the University of South Dakota with Coach Mandy Green. Thanks, Coach, for being with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is great.
You know, last year we were a little more confined, and we had a great visit with Josh on the phone, and got to do that. But we thought, well, let's get up there and sit down with the coaches this year and see what we can get going. Because one of the things, and I have never made any secret of this about how much we've enjoyed watching your program grow and climb in stature, and a lot of that is to do with recruiting players. So, what are some of the things that you're seeing from your first year here? We're coming up on your fourth year at USD. What are some of the things that you've seen that have been important in the progress of your program here?
I think every year that we've been here, the experience that these girls are getting. Our first big recruiting class was 21 freshmen 2 seasons ago, and they got invaluable playing experience their freshman and sophomore year. This year especially, we were able to turn the corner with a lot of things just because they got that experience their first couple years. They have been there, done that with everything. They have experienced so many different things, and I think this group has done a great job of learning from each experience. They are applying what they know and are making much smarter decisions on the field, off the field with a lot of things, and it really has helped us turn the corner with a lot of things. I mean, across the board, everything has gotten better. I mean, our fitness, they have a greater understanding of fitness, and the players that we're bringing in every year are learning from the older ones and how fit they really need to be coming in, which has elevated our program every year. I think our strength and conditioning staff has done a great job. I have a picture up in my office of the 21 freshmen their freshman year. They were puny, tiny little girls, and now they don't weigh any different. They weigh about the same they did their freshman year. They're just strong, and they're solid. They're cut. They're confident in their bodies. So it allows us to be a lot more physical and injury-free for the most part, which certainly when you've got players that aren't recovering from injury all the time, they get that experience, they get the repetitions, and it keeps making us better. Again, technically we're so much better, and every year we're bringing in players who are coming from clubs that are really stressing, technical ability, soccer IQ, and their tactical ability. We've been, every year our new ones challenge the returners to be better, and all of that just keeps building and building every year, and we're turning the corner, definitely.
One thing I've mentioned, you talk about the players getting stronger, and one thing I've noticed over the years that we've been covering these same players is they're not only stronger physically, but some of these girls are walking around with a little bit of swagger. They beat some good teams. They've been in some really tough games with some good teams. You're reeling in the rest of the soccer world here, and the girls recognize it and they're responding to that.
Yeah, no, it was really great to see that in our players this year. The first 2 years, and I say 2 years, I know I was here 4 years, but with the majority of this, these girls, obviously they're juniors, so the 2 years that they've been here, we didn't have a lot of success the first couple years. I don't care who you are, you're not going to win with 8 or 9 freshmen on the field like we've had to play the last few years, but they kept believing, and they kept realizing that, gosh, we were so close. If we could just do this a little better. And every practice they came back and they just are believing that, we can be a very good team. And I don't care what other people are saying, we can be good. And we really kept stressing, let's live up to the expectations that we're setting for ourselves instead of playing down to what other people think that we should be. Just because, we haven't exactly had the winning traditions yet, but they're starting to believe, and there's all of the work that they're putting in is paying off, and they're.
Well, one thing, I know you would never say this, and you'll probably not be happy that I say it, but I see that in your program, and I see that in other good programs in our state. But when the players see the coaches trying harder than they are, that is a sign for the players that it's okay to continue and carry through the tough times, because it's tougher on the coaches, I think, than the players, even when they're not having a successful year.
It hasn't been easy. It hasn't. I have a lot of gray hair, and because of it, but it is, I knew that these players, I believe that these players can win at the Division I level. I knew it. And even though things weren't exactly going very well the previous 2 years with such a young team, I just knew that if they keep at it, you know, we're gonna find a way to get it done. And we are constantly watching training sessions, constantly talking to other coaches, constantly reading books, trying to find something better, finding better ways to do things. And I think every year, I mean, I think the team will only grow and get as good as we are as coaches. So we really believe in growth and learning, and so we take every day what we're learning and try to apply it to our team, trying to stay as positive as we can, trying to keep our energy up, trying to set the tone for how we want our players to be. And I think the team, you know, has responded to that and stayed positive for the most part. I mean, we have our moments, definitely, but you know, we definitely see bright things in the future.
You know, we talked about your first year here, and you know, you were right then in a position where you needed people. And as the program has progressed, as you're making it stronger and bigger and better, I imagine every year you're looking for a specific set of players at this point, or a specific set of positions. You see what you're going to lose, you see where you need to strengthen the team. So what were some of the criteria this year that you took a look at when you were recruiting players?
You know, actually one thing we do look at is who their coach is with their club team. And because we find that coaches or players that are coming, that have had coaches with their club team or their high school team that are pretty demanding, that are setting a high standard and holding players to that standard, are players that transition better to college. So that's something we looked for. We definitely look for the character of the person. You know, we pay attention to their academics. We we have found that girls that are more academically disciplined in high school tend to pick up on things a lot quicker in college with all the stuff that we throw at them and with all their classwork on top of it. If they're not disciplined academically, they're going to struggle as Division I athletes. So we look at that kind of stuff. We try to pay attention to soccer IQ. You know, how smart are they about the game? How passionate are they about the game? Division I soccer is not easy, and there's a lot of demands put on them, you know, on the field, off the field, in the classroom, with traveling, all that. And if they don't love and are passionate about the sport, they don't last very long as Division I athletes. I mean, of course, we look at athleticism, we look at speed, we look at, you know, all of that. I mean, depending on the position. I mean, we've got one of our incoming is very technical, crafty, great, like, shot with the center mid. I mean, I love little technical center mids. We've got a very good target forward coming in, you know, who's a great passer, has a cannon, absolute cannon of a shot. And we've got, I mean, in the back, we mostly have a lot of backs and goalkeepers coming in because of the 10 that we have graduating. Most of them are defenders or goalkeepers. So we wanted to bring in a good amount in this class, so they have a year to learn from the seniors. They have, you know, some time to get some experience, a full spring season before we're really going to need them to, you know, step in and play some major minutes. So that was kind of our intention with this recruiting class, I'd say. Okay,
well, we have the criteria. Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about some of these players that you have coming in. Well, no, let's talk about all the players. But let's have you let us know about who you're bringing in, maybe why, where they come from, and that sort of thing. So
Sydney Hardin is a first. She's a goalkeeper from the Sereno Club in Arizona. She caught our eye just with her personality on the field, how she carries herself in the goal. She has a good presence about her. She, is taller, which is ideal for goalkeepers, obviously, but she makes the saves that she needs to make. She's got good hands. She communicates and controls her back line pretty well. We have got we have a set of twins coming in from the Eagles club, who one plays a center back and one is a like a center mid, attacking, could be defensive center mid type player. And they, what's funny is those two and Sydney from Arizona, they are like all sisters separated at birth, I swear. The three of them are attached at the hip already, and they don't even live in the same state or whatever. They're talking all the time. But they, I mean, the twins, they they're smart. They're very smart players. They understand positioning. They've got great soccer IQ, great personalities. They, they are definitely going to bring leadership qualities to our team, which I think will help playing with the club that they play for. I mean, they're traveling everywhere. They're playing in big games. They're going to bring a lot of great experience for us.
And of course, you're talking about Brittney and Courtney Baker.
Courtney Baker.
You know, of all the recruits that I knew that you had coming, or suspected you did, I thought that those two probably in that hardcore soccer culture are going to someday be could be the core of the program, because you're right, they have been immersed in high-level soccer for a long time.
Yep, and they live and breathe fitness and soccer, and I mean, they tell a story of they went down to a tournament, they had prom, their family is big into their motorhome, so they brought the motorhome down to the game, were like played in a tournament where most girls are like, I'm not going to the tournament, I got prom. Nope, they went to the tournament and they were getting ready for prom in the motor van on the way back up from the tournament games. I mean, those are the kind of girls.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, no, they're great. I got to see them recently again in Phoenix. Was it Phoenix? I saw them and loved them. They're going to be great for us. I think they'll be good. Who else do we have?
Katelyn Floysand. Josh actually saw her at the University of Minnesota camp last summer, and she came highly recommended by the University of Minnesota coaches. And actually, we just saw them at a camp last weekend, and they're still talking about her. She's very athletic, and is somebody who definitely went under the radar because she didn't play on a major club team. So didn't get noticed by a lot of people, but she's a good athlete. She's a very, very good kid, disciplined academically, but is flexible enough to play kind of all over the field. We're not quite sure where we're going to put her, but just from what we've seen, I mean, she could really play anywhere on the field, so we may have to find a position for her. But she is we're really excited about Katelyn, and I know she's going to come in and make an impact right away.
Maddie Vang is the center mid. She plays for the Blackhawks in Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota. She's somebody who we didn't even know about her until she came to camp last summer. I loved her at camp. She is really quiet. She's a really quiet person, but I was very impressed. She stood out to me every single game as somebody who could take over the middle of the field, and she's a great playmaker, passes the ball really well, is fast, is very quick, is a really good kid. Really excited about Maddie. Who else do we have? Laura Bowman is a forward who plays for the Eden Prairie Club in Minnesota. She's the one who I was saying has a cannon of a shot.
Yeah, and we got to talk to Laura, I think, at camp this summer.
Yep, you did. She's a great personality. I mean, within 5 minutes, she had everybody at the camp, loved her. She's a very smart player, very high IQ. I mean, got a 36 on her ACT, so
wow.
Is very smart girl.
Probably lucky MIT doesn't have a women's soccer program, because they were probably after her.
They do have one. They did.
Oh, they did?
They did. I mean, that's another story, but we actually, because she got a 36 on her ACT, thought she was going, she was getting full ride academic offers from Harvard, MIT, all those. Yeah. But she came back for another visit and decided this is where she wanted to be.
Well, in talking with her last summer, she just she loves it here in Vermillion. She just absolutely loves it here. She loves the staff, and that's another thing. Before we go any farther, that we're seeing players right now, and I know probably 4 of them just offhand that have been in the recruiting process. They've developed relationships with the coach. They have their future plan, and all of a sudden the coach is gone.
Yeah.
And it's just like they have the rug yanked out from under their future. And it's a painful deal, but I guess that's why it's important to love the school first and love the town second, and then you can love the coach third.
Yeah, no, and we talk about that a lot in the recruiting process, because you never know what's going to happen and what's going to come up, and coaches do kind of come and go pretty quickly, and it is, and especially with soccer, with girls committing so early, a lot can happen in the time where they commit to when they actually get here. So but it's a risk that we have to take, getting them to commit that early, and it's a risk they have to take. And
well, all the players that I'm talking to, I'm just saying, well, look, so life pulled a dirty one on you, or you think it did.
Yeah.
But there's a silver lining inside that cloud if you'll just find it and just use it.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's go on down.
Got a few more. Katelyn is a Dakota Rev girl. She's another Minnesota kid. Katelyn has been on our radar for a long time. She's got to be 5'9", 5'10", center back. Very smart player. Also pretty quiet, but she is very athletic, a great skill, sees the field really well, distributes really well out of the back, and she's kind of a brick wall in the back. Players have a hard time getting around her. So really excited about Kat. Who else we talked about? Laura, the Toxics, and then I guess last we have the Dakota Alliance trio that we have coming in, and Ricki and Jena and Sydney, and those are girls that I know. Josh, with me being pregnant and having a miserable pregnancy, I wasn't able to get up to Sioux Falls to see the Dakota Alliance girls as much, but every time Josh would come back from seeing these girls play, he would talk about these three. And Ricki, I know in the back is feisty and is very smart, does a great job staying connected to the back four, and does a great job coming out of the back, and that's what we definitely liked about her. Jena, I know, is more of an outside mid kind of wing player. She has got great speed, and she at camp definitely impressed us with her soccer knowledge, her ability to kind of get in, get out wide, get the ball, send good balls in. She did a good job with that. And then Sydney Sarda, we're not sure if she'll play kind of a center back or an outside back for us, but she is just strong and physical and has got a great presence in the back about her. Is good technically. Again, sees the field, pretty well. Does a good job of connecting passes up the field, and does a good job of leading in the back. So
those are three, very good players out of there. You look at each, like with Jena. She's not the biggest player in the world, but she casts a big shadow on the field, and I kind of look at her as having potential. You always have that kind of the psychological center of the team, the person that keeps stuff light when things are heavy, and I think Jena has that, a lot of that potential. Plus, her work rate is unbelievable. Sydney, I agree, strong girl, and Ricki is just one of those hard. She's already hard, and she's ready to go.
And we've had coaches since these three committed to us say, gosh, why didn't I recruit those girls more? I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting those three, and so we feel very lucky that they're coming here. We're excited to get them here, and we're excited to incorporate them and then see what they can do.
And not only do you get the good Dakota Alliance coaching in their background, but with Ricki, you also did play Glasgow, and the girls that I've talked to are going, well, it was kind of bittersweet when Clay went to Dakota Wesleyan this past week or so, but they all said, man, I'm glad I don't have to play for anymore. So these are all three of these kids, and I'm sure all of these kids are players who have always had a coach look them in the eye and tell them the truth. That's how you get good.
No, I agree. And all 10 of them that are coming in they're all coming from great club programs, or they've had good high school coaches as well. They've all played in big games and consistent big games. They've gone to the big major tournaments, and every time we've seen them, they've stood out from the crowd for us. And so, I think our returners are going to make it very difficult for them to play immediately, which is great for us. It's a great situation to be in because I know the first couple years, freshmen were, they got to play a lot, but I think this group is our returning group. They're experienced. They're playing really well. I've loved, and we've had our first 3 practices of the spring this week, and girls are playing well. They're working hard. They're in the weight room. They're getting stronger every day, or at least 3 days a week. They are. They're getting fit. They're getting lots of touches on the ball. They're doing really well. I think adding this group, it's going to push our returners even more to do things even better than they've been doing it, and I think our returners are definitely ready to take that next step again, and I think this group will come in and fill in a lot of holes that we lost with Jenny Teslo graduating and Jen Schaefer graduating, and Aaron Bello even leaving a year ago, with a good presence in the middle and Rachel Green in the back. We've lost some pretty major players for this program through graduation the last couple years, and I think our returning players definitely have stepped up and done what they can to fill in more, to fill those gaps, and I definitely think this group will do a great job with that as well.
We got everybody covered.
I think so.
All right. Well, and you were just mentioning, I think the key here for these players is that as you bring the USD program into a higher level of legitimacy as a D1 program, there aren't going to be very many freshmen who can show up and just say, hey, I'm going to go in and change the way things are there. That's not how D1 programs work.
Yeah.
But you're going to have a special 1 or 2 in there that emerges even more, once they show up, and we're looking forward to seeing not only what your existing players are doing, because we like all of them. Actually, a couple of your girls had the most popular college video that we shot last year.
Yeah, with them doing the thing.
Yeah, and I'm hoping we can get some more of that, because soccer is about having fun, even if you're a D1 player. And when the game's over, you could have some fun. And so we really enjoyed that phone call bit that the girls did, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more hijinks. Not when you're getting interviewed, but when other players are.
And even if they do it to me, I'm perfectly okay with that. Our administration didn't. It is something that we want people to really get the impression of what it's like to play here. And our girls are goofy and they're funny and they like having fun and goofing around, and that we've got some personalities who definitely like doing that stuff. So
of all the players I've talked to that are coming to the programs in South Dakota, and I've had a few of them contact me, and so we could kind of establish a relationship, but it's the girls who are coming here who are saying that I felt at home there. I felt like I was in a soccer family, and I love Vermillion and I love the school, and you can't get any better than that.
Can't get any better than that. No, right. That's great.
Well, Coach Mandy Green, thanks so much for spending some time with us this morning on signing day. We're, it's no secret how proud we are of you and what you've done with this program and what you continue to do, and what a great asset to South Dakota and South Dakota soccer.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Thank you.